Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is an impromptu video just telling you a little bit about me and why I'm doing this channel. My name is Rick and I've been working out now for quite some time. I started working out when I was about 20 years old. I was in drug rehab actually, and I was there for about 4 months, and the only thing you really can do there is work out and play ping pong. So I started lifting, and it was really the first time I did any lifting. I think I just had a bull worker. My father's buddy was a bodybuilder, and he'd given me a couple of weights and a bull worker, but I had never really worked out before. So I do recall when I was working out there that toward the end, I remembered one of the girls. I had never had a problem with girls, so I didn't need to work out because I felt like I needed to get girls, and I certainly didn't have to work out because I was getting beat up on, so I was always pretty much a kind of an outlaw. But so I did recall toward the end of my stay at this facility, I was sitting around one of these group sessions, telling them all the things that you've learned while you were there and all the things you're not going to do again as soon as they let you out. And I remember someone came up to me later and said, this female, because we were all roughly around the same bunch of kids, and she had said that, wow, Rick has a nice body. And no one had ever said that before. As I said, I did okay with girls. Normally I would hear things like, oh, you mean the cute skinny guy, I'll post pictures of what I looked like way back when. Unlike a lot of these YouTubers, I don't have a transformation video. I mean, I was thin when I was younger, but there's been no real great there really has been no great transformation, quite frankly. I mean, the biggest transformation probably occurred while I was in treatment, okay? From looking like I didn't work out to a guy who looked like he was in shape. And from that moment on, I pretty much have stayed in shape. I mean, I've fluctuated, but I've always been in shape since then. And I'm an athletic guy too. Plus, I'm an ectomorph, so it's even when I started to get serious about working out, it was always difficult to gain weight. But no surprise, I ended up in the fitness industry in the 90s working for Bally Total Fitness. Some of you may remember it as Holiday Spa. I actually joined the gym. It was called Holiday Spa. I joined in 84, 85, something like that. And so by the time I had started to work at Bally, I had already, started to immerse myself in nutritional literature in order to get big, to understand, I'm quite sure prior to working out, I couldn't tell you protein from a carb, so it was during that time that I just immersed myself in all of this literature concerning, how to get big, and then what inevitably happens is you just start reading on why good food, why nutrient-dense food is vitally important, okay? So by the time I ended up working at Bally, I was convinced that eating well and working out were the keys to looking good and staying fit indefinitely. And that is what I sold memberships on, okay? At the time, they were quite unique. Most gyms, you're not going to buy a membership for more than a year. And this was a little unusual in that they were selling 3-year memberships with a very low renewal. I think it was $6 or $9 a month after that commitment. So for 3 years, you would pay, depending on the membership that you had, anywhere from $30 to $40, $50 per month. But again, after that initial commitment, your renewal was so cheap. So if you could sell lifestyle, you were successful, okay? And as a result, I was reasonably successful. Now, ultimately, I got burnt out in the industry. You know, as a salesperson, you're there like 10 hours a day and 6 days a week. They don't want you to have 2 days off in a row because, you know, it's all about getting people to join. You know, so it wasn't, again, it wasn't easy in that you were trying to convince people who had a track record of never following through to commit to 3 years. 3 years and sometimes $1,200 to $1,500. Okay, so again, that's what I sold on it, and that's how I was successful. Now, again, after that time, I didn't stop working out, but I pretty much detached myself from anything related to fitness other than working out. I felt like I wasn't reading a whole lot anymore. I was just working out and eating well. Okay, so here we are now, 2020. I just turned 55 years old. Okay, and right now I just took my body fat percentage at the gym the other day, yesterday in fact, and they had me at 8.5%. Okay. And of course, I weighed in yesterday at 148 pounds. Okay, now it's, I couldn't help but think that, there's a few YouTubers that I watch, obviously, and then there's a couple of people that were, that I'll be bringing up. But one is the Nick's Strength and Power, and I was watching his video, I guess when he competed, and he had ballooned up to about, 210. I don't know how tall the guy is. I'm 5'11", so he ballooned up to like 210 pounds. And I guess when he finally competed, he was, I guess, right around my weight. I think he said 147 or something like that. And he kept stressing how light that was, and that, that's what girls weigh. That's what girls weigh. And so that's kind of funny. But anyway, so that little hand one had me at 8.5. Now, I'm trying to get down to about 5%, because, again, how many 55-year-old guys are going to be 5% body fat? Okay. Now, am I 8.5%? I would say so. I'm going to go ahead and do the whole Athlean X. Am I 5%? Am I 7%? Let's agree that I'm probably lean, okay? And then when you think about the fact that I'm 55 years old, I'm really lean, okay? So just to give you a quick peek right now, and as I said, I will, the lighting here is terrible, okay? The lighting is terrible. This is a quick, I wanted to do this. I wanted to hurry up and get it out there online because I'm doing this, okay? And I'll be putting out videos daily, and I'm going to run it up the flagpole and see who salutes it, So anyway, just to give you a little peek, about where I'm at right now. Again, this is just the upper body, The legs are admittedly weak. I've had skinny legs my entire life. It's only been within the last 20 years or so that I feel like I can wear shorts without being totally embarrassed, but that's about where I am right now. And I'm sure it's got to be single-digit body fat, but I will continue to try to get down to about 5 or 6% if possible over the next couple of weeks. Now, why I'm doing this channel, okay? As I said, I've been totally out of the fitness industry for the last 25 years, basically. I don't know what's going on. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't think anything new in the world was, the human body hasn't changed in 25 years. I felt as if all of the nutritional information that was available back then was pretty much still held true. Although I have come to find out through, again, some of these YouTubers that some of the things that I had actually, some of the myths that I had, I'll be perfectly honest, I was perpetuating, fasted cardio, anabolic window, all of these things I thought were still valid up until recently. And so, I'm sorry, that was my wife. I'm trying to do this video. I got wife and kids. Oh, let me also add a little something to about me. Not only am I 55 and I'm in relatively good shape, any day now I will be expecting my third bundle of joy with my wife, who is 20 years my younger. So if anybody has a problem with that, I don't want to hear this age appropriate, like they're doing with that poor Keanu Reeves, So I mean, what do you expect me? Should I be with a woman who's 55 years old? But anyway. So I will be having a child. We are expecting any day now. The due date was February 5th, according to the ultrasound. So with any luck, cross your fingers. And when the little bundle of joy is born, perhaps I'll have some YouTube friends to share with. But back to why I started. Again, why I'm doing this channel. I started watching some YouTube fitness channels probably 4 months ago, okay? And the reason I know is about 4 months ago is because the one guy that I've been following and pretty much is responsible for me to finally just go ahead and doing this is Coach Greg Doucette, okay? And watching his analytics video pertaining to YouTube analytics was like in October or November of last year. And I think I just started watching him like a month or two before that. Because again, he didn't have a whole lot of followers. At the time, I didn't even have this account. I was literally I had some like anonymous YouTube account so that I could listen to music. I could get some playlists and just listen to old alternative 80s music that I like and listen to. So, but anyway, I also, obviously had a chance to view some of these other YouTube channels, and it's amazing. It's amazing that they're still perpetuating some of these other myths, not the one like the fasted cardio, although I will have a video in which I justify perpetuating that myth. So look for that soon. But with respect to the YouTubers, the myths, again, the belly fat, I'm still shocked to see thumbnails like the best 3 exercises. I mean, I was reading this stuff in these Weeder magazines back in the 90s, and nothing's changed. Please, give me a break. Mainly what I want to get across to anyone who's interested in feeling better and looking better is it's not that complicated, okay? Even Greg, to a certain degree, it seemingly makes it a little more complicated than it is, okay? And I agree with most of what Coach Greg. I feel like Greg's the kind of guy I can only call him Coach, okay? He's just the guy you're like, yo, hey Coach, what's up? You don't even call him Greg. He's Coach. He's Coach, and he's always going to be Coach. Coach, I got a question, and then he'll spit in your face and hopefully give you the right answer. But I love to tell people it's simple but not easy. Simple in the sense that it is not complicated, okay? You've seen Mr. Olympia, okay? You've seen bodybuilders, okay? They've got big biceps. They don't have big brains, okay? I'm sure some of them do. I'm sure some of them are men's and members, I'm sure. I'm certain of it. But it's simple in that it's not a complicated process, but it's not easy in that you do have to change lifestyle habits that, again, are ingrained in you, okay, that have prevented you from feeling and looking as good as you'd like to look. When I was in my 30s working out, and I was in good shape, again, most of the time I was the best guy. I was in the best shape at the gym. Okay. Now there were bigger guys, but when you factored everything in, muscularity as well as being lean and shredded, I was usually one of the better, one of the fitter guys. Okay. But people, the thing that would be funny, what was funny is people would sometimes, peek and, and of course, I'm not going to lie, I strut around the gym like a peacock, okay? And I will, use any excuse to lift up my shirt and check out my abs. So from time to time, someone would say, oh, I wish I had those abs. And I'm like, really? Is that what you think I did? You think I just wished for them every night? Oh, I wish I had abs. And boom, here they were. No, Okay, it's a desire. Okay, you have to want it. Okay, raise your hand if you schlep to work, if you schlep to a job that you can't stand, but you do it every single day because you have to. Okay, early on, I realized I had to do this. I had to do this if I wanted to look good and feel good. I knew. I used to sell, maybe I was full of shit at the time. I don't know. But one of the things that I would say to people, you would give them a questionnaire, okay? And they were very honest in the beginning, okay? And they would tell you things like they smoked cigarettes, what they paid money, what they spent their money on. But at the end, and it was really simply for us to have ammunition to get you to join, okay? So what would happen is you would give them a couple of options for the membership. You'd never give them, do you want to join or don't you want to join, okay? Because if you give them that option, if you give them the option to think about it for one more day, they will go ahead and take that option, okay? So you give them this illusion of options, okay? Because you don't want the option. There is no option to not join, okay? You're joining. You're either putting this amount of money down and you're paying this amount of money a month, or this amount of money down. And so it says for 36 months, and then it gives you the low renewal, okay? So it was always funny because people are looking at it, in the beginning, they're very nice, but when it comes down, to signing, we all, freeze, whether we're buying a car, a house, whatever. It's like, do I really want to do this? And so they would look and they're like, 36 months. They're like, that's 3 years. I'm like, very good, very good. Your math skills are impeccable. Yes. And my standard answer was, well, how long do you want to be in shape for? And of course they would look at me so dumbfounded, like a deer caught in the headlight. Huh? I guess forever, although I had more than my share of women. I'm sorry to pick on you guys, because I can pick on men too. But the women were funny, and they go, "I'm just here." They were getting married. Okay, they were getting married. They wanted to look good for their wedding, but they basically told me, I don't care what I look like after that. I'm like, does your husband know this? Can I speak to him? So, but that was, again, that was something that I used to sell memberships. And again, it was something that ultimately I believe I internalized, when I was 30, I knew 40 was going to come. It's going to get there, just like I know 60 is going to come. I had no idea it'd be this close around the corner, but 60 is going to come, and then 65, and then 70. I don't know. I'm also a big fan. I don't say big fan. I'm also very concerned with now longevity, obviously. Okay. I have 3 children. I have an 8-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a newborn any day now. Okay. So it is mandatory for me to stay in shape. I am not going to be this old dude who I can't play football with you, kid. I can't go out and toss the ball. I can't bike ride with you. I can't do this, that, or the other thing. No. As it says in my about, I'm a little more than halfway to 100. That is my goal, 100. And it's going to be very little fall off. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you, I'm like a fine wine, I'm getting better with age. No, it would be untruthful for me to say that. But I will say the fall off from my prime has been negligible. I mean, some of the things I plan to do, and I hope to record it on this channel, and hopefully people are interested in it, and in a sense, would I like to generate a little bit of income? Yeah, certainly. As long as it's I am not going to be shilling for supplements. Okay. Now, one of the things that I will also make videos about and tell you about is I've spent lots of money on supplements. I'm here to say I don't believe in supplements anymore. Nope, I do not believe in supplements. I believe one, you don't know what you're getting. 2, we don't know the bioavailability of it. I am Mr. Whole Foods, okay? And that is what I'm going to promote, okay? whole foods, okay? The only supplement that I've been taking recently was creatine, because what's funny is creatine came out in the 90s, and it was like, oh, it was everywhere. That was it back then. I mean, the athletes were, they were thinking about whether, right? I'm pretty sure they were discussing whether or not they should ban creatine professional. They were determining whether or not it was a performance enhancing drug, I believe. Okay, now remember, this is the 90s, so I could be wrong. But I have been taking creatine, and full disclosure, I started taking like a pre-workout, which again, I don't think I even need. I'm kind of taking it because I kind of like the feeling, probably from those old drug days. But anyway. But those are the only two supplements. All those other things that you see, I think, are a colossal waste of money. I think the supplement industry is just simply trying to extract money from you, okay? And quite frankly, I'm proof of it, okay? Now, is there a genetic component? Obviously, as they always say, pick the right parents, okay? But apart from that, there is still lifestyle, and there is what's called epigenetics, okay? Things that you can do. One of the things that I have discovered is autophagy. And I will do a video about autophagy and actually link you to some of the people that I've been following who are experts, or at least know a lot more about the subject than I currently do. But based on what I've read, and when I look at myself and I think, well, exactly how have I preserved myself? Okay, it has to be physical exertion and eating right. But there are some other components, okay? Now, I've been doing what's intermittent fasting now for quite some time, okay? It wasn't even called intermittent fasting when we were doing it, when I was doing it. Now, does that play a role? I believe it does. I absolutely believe it does. And as we go on, I think I can prove that the reason that I have preserved myself is because I have been initiating autophagy through fasting, through physical exertion, those two primarily, I believe. So these are things, these are topics that I think you don't see, like, for example, with Greg Doucette, you don't really see that too much. He kind of focuses, I know he doesn't like intermittent fasting, and he'll probably call me an idiot for doing it. Or then say, look, this guy has been fasting. Imagine if he didn't fast, right? That'll probably be what he says, right? Imagine if he didn't fast, right? I'd look even better, but I don't think that's the case. However, I want to wrap this up because I do want to do the video about why Greg Doucette is wrong about intermittent fasting. Maybe I'll do it. Why Greg Doucette is wrong about intermittent fasting, but right about everything else in the sun. So I encourage you to subscribe, hit the like button. You have a question, you have a comment. I enjoyed helping people when I was in the gym because I have found the fountain of youth. I am convinced I have found the fountain of youth, okay? Now, if you think by following these people who are just trying to sell you something is the way, then, more power to you, As far as the production value, the lighting, the production value of these videos, I'm sure they will increase. I got some lights that are coming. The lighting here is terrible. That's why I think you can get an idea without these. I have an Instagram account, and I will post pictures. I really want to post a picture of my pregnant wife, who is just, she's huge right now. Huge. I wanted to take a picture just now downstairs because she's like, I'm huge. And I'm like, she didn't like the outfit. She didn't like the jammies she was wearing. So I want to get a picture of us together with my abs and her big giant belly because I think that's cool. And then, so I don't want to edit this thing. So I'm going to wrap it up right now. And I hope to see you soon. Take care.